So what's happening now is cloud service providers are getting way too much power. And so the European Union and the United Kingdom are looking to potentially break up or limit the power of Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. Now, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, they control about 65% of all cloud computing globally. And that's a big concern for non-US companies and non-US governments, because basically the infrastructure of the future, and the future is now, meaning roads globally, is controlled online by those three companies. And it's getting problematic for regulators globally because a couple of years ago, those three companies controlled about 50% of the cloud computing market globally. Now, given COVID and the rush to move online by many governments and big companies globally for cloud computing purposes, given COVID, what's happened is those three companies now have 65% market share globally of the cloud service provider market. And I think what's going to happen is within a few years or so, those big three companies will be broken up. And it'll be by pressure from international governments as well. So let me kick it off with Google. So Google's got the Google Cloud Engine, or GCE. And a lot of big companies run their entire infrastructure off of Google Cloud, just like with Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. One of the issues with Google also is that Google owns the two biggest search engines in the world. Of course, that's Google and YouTube. And that's just too much power for one company. And I think one of the reasons the United States government has not broken up Google yet is because they've been a great corporate citizen from a geopolitical perspective, because they pulled out of China in 2011 in January, given the fact that there's censorship issues there. So I think what's also going to get broken up is Amazon. It's just too powerful. It's a great company. I love it. I use Amazon all the time, but they dominate cloud computing, retail delivery, etc. And then Microsoft, of course, with Azure. I think they'll get broken up. Now, what's happened pre-COVID, a lot of governments globally have tried to use their own cloud computing infrastructures, meaning CSPs or cloud service providers, by using their big telecommunication companies for cloud computing purposes. But since COVID happened and everybody rushed to get online fast, what's happened is these three big American companies have become too powerful. And so again, I think those three companies will be broken up. Now, the reason why big tech has not been broken up in the United States yet, including companies like Facebook, which should be broken up, is because the big tech companies in the United States have massive labor unions. That's number one. So these big three companies have lobbyists, and big tech companies do in DC, which is why it's tough to break up these big tech companies. Also, the Department of Justice in the United States has been trying to break up all tech at the same time, which is problematic. I think they should pick on Facebook first and break up Facebook into multiple companies. And Facebook knows it's coming, which is why they rebranded themselves as Meta, as a holding company. And Google also knows it's coming, which is why they rebranded themselves as Alphabet a number of years ago. So the bottom line is, I think within the next few years, a lot of big tech companies will be broken up, and the first ones to get broken up will be the big three cloud service providers, Amazon, Google, as well as Microsoft.